I didn't want to feel judged, and I'd only told a couple people about how I accepted Jesus into my life. And it felt so private and so scary to tell others. But here's my story. Growing up, I just learned to distrust church. I didn't like it. I didn't want anything to do with Jesus at all. I really liked my friends who were Christian. I thought they were great, and we both celebrated the same holiday because I got a Christmas tree and gifts, but Jesus just wasn't for me. When I was 16, I started dating this boy. Occasionally, he'd invite me to go to church with him, and he played the drums, and I loved to come watch him play the drums. His family was wonderful. Everything was great. The only problem was they all really loved Jesus. They would pray at meals. They would bring out the Bible at Christmas time and read scripture, and it just made me feel so uncomfortable. They didn't try to make me feel uncomfortable, but just the way I distrusted Jesus, I felt uncomfortable. In college, I went to nursing school, and by then I was totally in love with this boy, who's now a guy. His name is Greg. He's also your worship leader. And so I'd go to Oak Hills a couple times a month just to watch him play the drums. And my best friend in college also happened to be a Christian. I don't know why God kept putting Christians around me. Now I do. But at the time, I was just like, that was their one flaw. Like, they were wonderful, except they loved Jesus. And I'd tolerate it, and I'd be really kind. And if they asked me to pray with them, of course I would pray with them. It would be rude if I didn't pray with them. So my friend, Abby, in college for 2 years, she invited me to go to Bible study with her. For 2 years, I said no. And for 2 years, I basically challenged her. Like, we'd have wonderful discussions over coffee every single day at school, and I challenged her on everything. And finally, I hit a really stressful point of nursing school at the University of Minnesota. And I just felt like I couldn't do it alone anymore. And I saw how my friend was doing it so beautifully, and I saw how she had God. And so I was finally like, okay, I'm willing to kind of hear about this Jesus guy. So she invited me to a Bible study, and I went, and she asked me to prepare. I read John, and apparently, once I showed up at the Bible study, John is not the same as 1 John, so I actually read 1 John, and I was completely unprepared. And I felt really stupid, and I left, and I just didn't like it. Greg invited me to Oak Hills the next morning, and by then, I very badly knew I needed help because I wasn't doing well. And in the parking lot at Oak Hills that morning, I said, okay, God, if the sermon is on 1 John, I'm in. But if it's on anything else, I'm out. And then I know that this isn't for me. The program said 1 Corinthians, and I was so excited because I was just free. I could do whatever I wanted for the rest of my life. This Jesus guy wasn't for me. And halfway through the sermon, Rod stopped, and he completely changed direction. And he referenced 1 John, and he started talking about how God is light. And I sat there in my chair, just trying to keep it together and not tremble and not cry, because God forbid I show emotion in church. I drove home, and in a little garage in Dinkytown, I accepted Jesus as my God into my heart, and he became real for me. And now I've been going to Oak Hills for 11 years. My boyfriend is now the worship leader, and he's no longer my boyfriend. We've been married almost 11 years. We have 3 children. I'm part of the worship team, and God has given me the ability to breathe. Life was so hard without Jesus. And now I just feel like really anything is possible with God.